With more than 48,000 treatments every year and over 600,000 consumables in use, manual paper-based tracking simply couldn't keep up. Each patient record took up to 8 minutes to complete, increasing the risk of errors. The result was inefficiency, gaps in compliance, and the potential for never events. The Trust needed a smarter, safer way to protect patients, improve traceability, and manage costs more effectively.
It was nurse's responsibility to check all the equipment which is being used for a dialysis session and then jot down the expiry date and the batch number on a piece of paper. And it was very time consuming, and in a dialysis unit can be extremely busy I think we have 55 stations running at the same time.
Safety wise, picking up any recalls or anything like that, getting rid of all the paperwork. At the minute, you know, we've got boxes and boxes and boxes of paperwork that has to go off site for storage.
These papers also had patient identifiable stickers. One paper gets lost, it's an information governance issue. Plus, it also helps to understand the amount of time workforce spends.
It is just for all the consumables, so we tend to set up a shift in advance on all the consumables, so we're scanning each bit as they go into the patient's basket. They all have their own individual basket, so that's done beforehand, before they actually come in. And then the other part is when we do our safety check, when the patient's actually on dialysis, we go around just checking what they've been programmed into. Not all units do that, but we always do it. And that's when we actually scan to say that the consumable have been used, scan the station, scan the patient. And that's the way that we find it works for us.
It is essential that we know at all times exactly what the patient's used and where that patient's been sat and what machines that patient's been dialysed on. It's helped us because it's so easy now to actually just put a batch number in, put a patient number in and get all the data out. It takes like 3 seconds to do this. So the Trust are looking at different ways of getting that nursing time back, getting that time back so they're not filling out unnecessarily forms, things are being automated.
Then there are additional things, you know, if we have to track somebody, if somebody had dialysis on a particular machine and there's an infection control issue, then there is a problem of how do you track what had happened. My favorite is to make sure that I get costing for each dialysis session. So that is quite important because in England, in my other role as the CRG member, I always feel that we do not capture the costs for a dialysis session properly. It is time to make full use of this technology, not only for patient benefit, but for the benefit of the staff and for the wider NHS benefit, because you will not get costing otherwise of whatever procedure we do in NHS. Quite often our nurses do a lot of work which is not captured, and one need to capture that work to really understand the workload of nurses and the equipment what they use. I think scanning of equipment can be expanded to every other part of NHS.